Hello, everybody, and welcome to the dashboard session for the week of August 24th. Today is Monday, August 24th, and we've got to read the disclaimer and understand that this Wavy Tunnel Pro strategy is a strategy that you need to practice with a demo or paper trading account. And we are going to go through some setups today. I will create a watch list for you today, but please try to understand the setups and do your own analysis. So this is the Wavy Tunnel Pro dashboard scanner. And if you want to watch the walkthrough video, you go to wavytunnelpro.com/dashboard. You can scan the QR code as well. And that's the walkthrough video. Daniel and I did a video recently with the new enhancements to the dashboard. For example, adding the Fibonacci lines automatically, and I'll show you that today. The Wavy Tunnel Pro dashboard and the Wavy Tunnel Pro setups are based on the market map, and this is the market map, the 8-wave market cycle. All of the Wavy Tunnel trades are based on this, whether you trade stocks, futures, forex, all based on this. And this is the trend move up, and then we have our correction, the ABC correction. What I like to show on the scanner, on the dashboard scanner, I like to show these trades where it's called the Breakout 4 trade, where the market does a run up and then it has a steep correction. This is called a zigzag correction. This is a steep correction. So when the dashboard finds these trades on stocks, and this is called the Breakout 4 trade, they show up on the scanner because it's end of day on the weekly and the daily time frames, and we can scan for this. The other scan that I'm going to show you today is, and we will find some trades, is the Fibonacci. So once we have this move down from point T to the end of the ABC correction, and the market starts to retrace, we can scan for a 38.2% retracement, a 50%, a 61.8% retracement. Most often when the price does go above the 61.8%, it means that it's going to head higher and retest the highs and make new highs. And that's because most corrections fall within the 38% and the 50% area. So if we're coming up to the 38.2 and the 50% area, there is a chance that price can roll over again and come down. But once it's above the 61.8% cleanly, we're probably going to retest the highs. It's not 100%, but it's a high percentage, I would say. So that's what that scanner can show us. All right. I'm not going to go through this weekly routine. Well, let's just do it briefly. On the weekends, I didn't do it this weekend because I was traveling and I just got back yesterday, so we'll have to do it today. This is when I look at the scans that I've set up, and they're called dynamic scans because they update daily. So for the first time, you want to create your dynamic scan. So in this case, I have dynamic breakout 4 watch lists, and that this can be on the daily or the weekly chart. And then weekly, you're going to check that updated watch list, and then you're going to go through each symbol one at a time and narrow it down to a hot list. You can write notes on the symbols that show potential right in the dashboard, and then you can create your trade plan just like you do for trading forex, for trading futures, for a handful of symbols. Buying the stock, there are a few ways of illustrating how you can buy the stock. You can illustrate it through, you can buy the underlying, buy the stock directly. You can buy a call, you can sell a put, you can buy a vertical, a call debit spread, or a put credit spread, and then you execute the trade. All right, let's get to the scanner now. So this is the scanner, the dashboard scanner. Oh, Yeah, the other thing that I just wanted to go through quickly is the earnings, because it's really important to know what earnings are coming out for the week, and the market keys off of these earnings. This is the week of August 24th. These are all of the earnings that are coming out. There are no earnings on Friday. So what are the key earnings? I mean, you recognize some of these stocks, right? On Wednesday, we have Nvidia. Hey, you know that stock. CrowdStrike, Salesforce. Like, these are all pretty popular stocks. And then you have before the market open and after the close. So these are all of the stocks that are coming out. There are a lot of traders that will look at all of the earnings that are coming out and trade those stocks, like maybe not before the earnings, but after the earnings. So this is something that you can do. You could set up a watch list, and you can add. I didn't do it for this week, for the earnings this week, because again, I was on vacation. But you could create a watch list on your dashboard of all of these stocks that have earnings this week and have a look at them and see if there are some good wavy tunnel setups. So if there's some breakout four trades, or if they're in complete uptrends. I mean, maybe we should do this. I don't know. Well, maybe I'll just move this over for a second, and maybe we'll just go off script a little bit. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll take a look at these stocks into earnings. Okay. Who would like to do that? Would anybody like to do that? Go through some of the earnings stocks? You can type a Y in the box. Okay, well, why don't we do that right after we show the scans? I've set up the Breakout 4 daily scan, and how I've set it up is prices greater than $25. I put the sector here and the industry because I like to know what industry and sector each stock is in. I like that. It's important for me. I also like to see the year-to-date percentage. And this is the Breakout 4 daily. So this updates automatically. There are 38 daily stocks on this. Not all of them are going to be great candidates for trades. And this, for example, this up here, this happened 9 candles ago. So this is an old one already. Okay. Let's click on the top one. This is Hilton. And notice how I have the Fibonacci lines drawn here. You can find the Fibonacci lines. It's an indicator. So you click on indicator and just type fib. And it's called BO4 fibs. So that indicator is already on. If I get rid of the indicator, I can also get rid of the indicator. I can hide it. I can remove it completely. But if I hide it, you're not going to see these lines. Now, the way the lines are drawn is it takes the price high to the price low. This is the Breakout 4 trade where you get the gray semaphore. And it shows you where we are in terms of Fibonacci from price high to price low. So let's just view it again. And you can see we traded up to the 38.2 and even to the 50% and then backed off. Okay. So what I said earlier was that if price starts to head higher and go above the 61.8, well, that's a pretty strong signal that we could go higher, right? And we could go above the high. And the levels that I have here are the the two key levels that I like to look at are the 1.136. So that's a brief new high, and then the 1.272, those two lines. And then, of course, once we take out the 1.272, we go up to the, like, we're making new highs. 161.8, 200%, and then 261.8. Okay, so that's how the fibs work. Very interesting. So this is Hilton. This Hilton has an up arrow 9 candles ago. You notice in the breakout 4 column, you're either going to have an up arrow or a diamond. An up arrow, if I just show you, is, see, I have the scan for breakout, for buy ready and buy signal under 10 candles. So a buy, that's why you see it going up to 9 and you don't see it any higher. I could say under 5 candles, or I could say the current candle, in which case you would only see the ones. So this is an up arrow 9. It means buy signal. The up arrow means that the price has closed above this 12 EMA filter 9 candles ago. Okay, and I can just count backwards. No, actually, this is a buy ready, buy signal. Actually, hang on a second. Let me just see something. Yeah, okay. So the buy signal is, it closes above the filter line. So you get your first notification down here, and this is called the buy ready, and that's what the diamonds show. That's the buy ready. So this is a very interesting chart to put on the watch list. I am going to create, let me just create a watch list. And the way I do it, and then I can share it with you. I'm going to put this on the watch list. I did not create the watch list yet. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to create a watch list. And I'm going to call it, I forgot, I want to call it the same way that I've been calling all the others. So let me just look to see what my nomenclature is. The date and then swing trades. Okay, so let's just do that. So 8/24, 2026. I'll just say breakout 4 swing trades. Maybe I'll just call it swing trades, since we are going to put maybe some of the earnings trades in here as well. So now I can add this to, I have to delete some of these 8/24 swing trades. And then I'm going to share it with you. So everybody that has this scanner will be able to see the watch list that I've created. But I like this because I want to watch the 61.8% as well. Let's just quickly go down some of these. KMI. And if you have any questions, please type it in the box. KMI. So this also has a 9. Look what happened here. It went all the way up to 61.8 and then came back down again. This is very interesting. That 61.8 level, it went up there 3 times. Look at this. Very important level. Like you could see that from this chart. So with this one, I am not really interested. I mean, I can keep it on the watch list. If we take out this price low, then we're gonna make a new low. So I'm just going to leave this for now. Let's look at the next one. WDC. This is a very nice pattern. The reason why I say under 10 candles is because sometimes a chart looks nice. Like this looks nice. The wave has really separated from the tunnel. If I open this up, this has been in a very significant uptrend, right? Really beautiful uptrend. And then, of course, this was just a stretched blowout. And then we had to come back. And then we're trading sideways, we're consolidating. So sometimes, and I was starting to say this is a good example of it, price moves up and then it comes back. And now this could be a nice place to buy it with the stop below the lows. So I'm going to keep this on the watch list. I just added it to the watch list. Let's go to, and that was technology, computer hardware, financial services, credit services. All right, this did a beautiful three-wave move down. Look at this chart. Really, really nice. Now, this would have been a really nice trade right here after we did the move up and the move back down again with a noble blue. And of course, now we accelerated, but this was nice. And we are at the 61.8%. We bounced off. So I'm just going to leave this on and just watch this area, the 61.8%. Because if we start to close above it, maybe we resume the uptrend again. MTZ, Industrials Engineering. I don't like this one. The reason why I don't like it is because the wave has already started to cross down below the tunnel. It's in the tunnel, but it's already started to cross down. I like the wave to be either above the tunnel or trading sideways with the tunnel. And there's another, yeah, I'm just going to show you one thing. I'm going to put up, these are all things that you can scan for. So you can scan for, not scan for, that you can see across the top on your real estate. So I said I have sector and industry. You can look at market cap, 52-week high and low percentage, optionable. That's one of the things that I have in my scan. All of these stocks are optionable. You have your earnings dates. So here, so if I click that, we'll see which stocks have earnings. So these are all the earnings dates. So these are all in October and November. I'm not sure that we have anything now. No, so I'm going to just uncheck that. But what I wanted to check off was the daily trend and the weekly trend. Okay. So the daily trend is yellow sideways. That's what I'm talking about. I like yellow sideways is fine. I'd rather it to be an uptrend, green. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm just going to get rid of industry so we can see more on the left side of the screen. Okay. And then I can move this over. Okay. I see Daniel did some enhancements here where you can move it over and these just get smaller. That's nice. So you can have more columns here. That's nice. All right, so I'm going to leave this alone. Let's go to WPC. This is real estate. Oh, wait, we already saw that. No. Okay. I'm going to open this up. Yeah, we only have the purple here. This is kind of choppy, so I'm not so sure what this is doing. I mean, we could hold this level. This might be a self-put candidate. Of course, you'd have to look at all the options prices too, which I'm not doing during this session. This is what I would do afterwards. Okay, after I've created the scan, then I would decide what I wanted to take the positions on. So I can add this to the watch list. Altria Group MO. So this is an up arrow 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure. I have to speak to Daniel about this because this doesn't add up to me. I'm not sure. What date is this? Right. Mm. Okay. Don't forget, this is end of day on Friday. Okay. This is end of day on Friday. So I'm going to speak to him because I think the up arrow 3 is taking into account today, but it shouldn't because I'm only counting 2 candles here. So let me see what that's about. I have to ask him. The other thing that you can do if you want to, and this is what I always do, if you want to see the live market data underneath, you would click on here and go to charts. You're clicking on settings at the top right of the chart, and you click dual chart view, linked symbol live chart below. So the live chart below is going to be the hourly, and we're up $2.50 from Friday's close. So you can see that we're trading at 68.53 and we closed at 66.09. Okay. So Altria Group, let me open this up. See, this is a little bit different, even though the daily is yellow arrow going across, meaning the wave is in the tunnel. It's not really trading below the tunnel. It's just the lower wave into the tunnel. So this is still a good candidate, maybe for some stability. I would put this on the watch list, not necessarily for a huge move higher, but maybe for some stability at these levels. And if you have any questions, please ask. Okay, does the 4 stand for 4-day or 4-hour? I'm not sure where you're seeing 4-day. This is a daily chart, and this is the hourly chart. If you're looking at this here, this column, oh, the breakout 4 daily. Okay, the breakout 4 is a wavy tunnel trade setup. So that's where you have to go into the website and look at the just I closed it down already. Look at the Wavy Tunnel Pro setups. Okay, and look at the breakout 4 trade to see what it's all about. Okay, that's what this stands for. It's a Wavy Tunnel Pro setup, and it's what we showed you earlier, where you have the market map, the 8-wave market cycle, and you have a purple semaphore at the top, and then you get a gray semaphore at the bottom. That's what it is. Okay. Did I add this yet? Let's just add this. Okay. It already exists. I already added it. All right. Let's go to the next one. Regency centers. I'm going to put this on the watch list. I would prefer, I would really want to see that we take out this price high because we've been trading sideways. Whenever you trade sideways like this, we're either going to break down and make a new low or break out and start to move higher. So I will watch for the breakout. Let's look at the next one. This could be interesting. This is a noble blue. As long as we hold this price low, we're fine. If we take out this price low, then we're going lower. So this, if you take a trade on this, it's a low risk, but I'm not so sure it's a high reward. Okay, because it looks like we could maybe break down and make a new low. I'm not going to put this on the watch list. This is Rush Street Interactive. We're trading at 26.26. On Friday, we closed at 25.80. This is a low price stock. So this is one of those where you would just buy the shares because it's not a high price stock. This is interesting. We have a noble here. And this used to be the purple. Okay, but because we took out this price high and made a new high, this becomes the noble, which is one swing move down from the purple. We had a beautiful move up and we had a nice retracement back into this. This is the breakout 4 trade back into the tunnel. I'm going to put this on the watch list. This looks okay. Okay, let's just look at a few more and then I want to look at some of the earnings. Okay, I'm going to skip this one because we gapped down. I'm just going to skip that one. Let's try to get through these more quickly. And I'm just going to get rid of the current price action. I do like to look at the current price action, but I just I want you to be able to see the chart so I don't have to keep on opening the chart. But I would definitely recommend looking at where the price action is currently, what's going on. All right. This is also a fairly low price stock. Yeah, I like this one. I'm going to put it on the watch list. Okay, this might be okay, but I don't like the way that this is really headed down. This wave is headed down, pointed down, so I'm going to leave this alone. Now we're into the diamonds. I didn't explain the diamonds. The diamonds is the ready, and the ready means that we haven't closed above the filter yet. Okay, when we close above this green filter, it's a 12 EMA, that's our signal. Okay, that's where you get the up arrow. So none of these have closed above the filter. I'm going to leave this one alone. I kind of like this pattern. Just see. I'm going to put this on the watch list. I do like this. I'm not telling you why I like it. Sorry about that. Because we had a nice run, a nice uptrend, and this looks like it's consolidating nicely. We don't have strong moves down. I like it. I'm just going to stick it on the. Okay. TC Energy. Yeah, energy is a little bit fickle because we just don't know what's going on really with oil prices. Okay, but this is a very strong uptrend, and this is a really nice ABC consolidation into the tunnel. I'm going to stick this on the watch list. We might make a new low. We might wait. We might have made a new low today, but I'm not looking at the current price prices. Here's another one. I'm going to leave this alone. This is Enbridge. We'll leave it alone. I would like to see, this will show up once we break above the filter. Wait, what happened? Oh, it showed me more. Okay. Okay, let's look at this one. This looks like a nice pattern. I'm going to put this on the watch list. Okay, here's a technology stock. Let's have a look. Okay. We did a nice three-wave move down, A, B, C. I like this one. Strong uptrend. I like this one. I'm going to put this on the watch list. Okay, this looks, I'm not going to put this on the watch list. Do you see why? I mean, we made a new high, and one day we reversed the highs completely, and we're trading down. Not a watch list candidate. And we're only looking at the longs. We could also look at the shorts, by the way. We could also look at the weeklies. We could do a lot with this dashboard. I'm going to leave this alone because I see that it's a little choppy. Okay. Choppy here, then we go up. So this could just be a big sideways move. If I put the weekly, you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, so this is the weekly. So this could come down into the weekly tunnel. And then I might be more interested. So not right now. Next one, Stag Industrial. Not interested in this. This is the weekly. Okay, let me see the daily. Yeah, not interested in this. This looks like it's heading down, even though we are sort of at weekly support, but I'm just not going to put it on the watch list. We're going to get to the earnings stocks in a minute. Allegro Microsystems Technology. I also like to look at the year-to-date percentage. I haven't been talking about that, but I like to see that the stock is up. Okay. Let's open this one up. Yeah, let's look at the weekly on this one, see what's going on there. Yeah, this might come down into this area. I'm going to leave it alone. So the other thing that you can do is you can put the weekly underneath the daily to add more perspective. Here's another one, A10 Networks. This looks very nice. I'm going to add this. We have a beautiful uptrend and then a nice consolidation for a correction. I'm going to add this. Okay, sure. I'll show you the WDC chart. All right, this is also a nice pattern. So I'm going to add this to the watch list. Now, let me just go back to, there's a question. So let me go back to WDC. So the question is, when you get the chance, reshow the WDC chart for me to visually see versus MTZ in relation to the wavy tunnel. MTZ? What do you mean by that? Okay, here's MTZ. Okay, MTZ, the other chart looked much nicer because this, you see the waves here? They're pointed down and they're crossing below the tunnel. So that tells me that something else is going on. And when the wave is completely below the tunnel, it means that we're entering a downtrend. So we can see it better on the weekly chart. Let's see why that's happening. Okay, so you see it. Yeah. So this is MTZ. And once we go below the wave on either the daily or the weekly, and on the daily we saw the wave crossing down below the tunnel, the next target could be the tunnel on the weekly chart. So that was the difference between those two charts. Okay, now let's look at some of the earnings coming out. Let's start with NVIDIA. By the way, you can just click on the chart and start typing, and you'll be able to call up a symbol. All right, NVIDIA, let's start with the weekly, and let's just analyze it together. So NVIDIA is in a weekly uptrend. When we came down to this level, that was support, like into the wave. Now we're in no man's land on the weekly. In fact, we have a purple, blue, blue. So this could be a 1, 2, 3 reversal. Earnings could take us back down into the wave, or it could take us above these highs. Okay, that's what, but this gives us perspective. And if we go to the daily, yeah. By the way, this was on the daily chart on March 30th, this was our breakout 4 trade on NVIDIA. And then we went above, we made new highs. So this turned into a gray from a purple. And now we're consolidating. So once again, the earnings announcement, this is the daily, will take us either above these highs. And if it takes us above these highs, then it's likely we're going above these highs. Or we come back down and retest these levels. Why don't we put up CrowdStrike? BRWD. And I like to start on the weekly. Look at this move. Whoa. And then we came down into the wave. Move up, come down into the wave. Every time we get stretched, you have to be careful up here. We made a new high. We came down into the wave, slightly below the wave. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah. If we're going to have a significant correction from the earnings, Then on this weekly chart, we're going to come down into the wave. Okay. So this is right now, it's well supported at the filter. We could see that on the daily as well. On the daily, it's well supported in the wave. So if we start to break down below these price lows, then we can go to the tunnel, and that would be the wave on the weekly chart. Looking at Salesforce CRM, these are just scenarios. And if you do trade some of these stocks, then you would do this analysis and you would draw your levels and you would understand. So this has been in a downtrend on the daily chart, and we're still in a downtrend. We haven't yet taken out this high, but once the wave starts to go above the tunnel, then we're in an uptrend. And if we look at the weekly, let's just look at the weekly. Even the weekly is in a downtrend, and we're starting to, this is more of a correction. This is more of a correction. Whenever the weekly wave is below the tunnel, I call that a downtrend. And if we're bouncing, I call it a correction. Let's see, what else? Okay, the filter is the 12-day EMA on both the daily and the weekly. It's the same. It's the 12 weekly EMA or the 12-day EMA. It's the 12 EMA. What other earnings chart? What about Bath and Body Works, BBWI? All right, this is in a weekly downtrend, complete weekly downtrend. So I wouldn't be interested in buying this. Let's look at the daily. Okay. Yeah. So this is really in a position of a breakout for sell right here. I wouldn't be interested in this stock at all. Okay, let's look at what DLTR. Earnings are coming out on Thursday for DLTR, Dollar Tree. Okay, let me go to the weekly on this one. I think this is interesting. Not so interesting. Let's see. Okay. You see this Fibonacci? It took it from this purple to this gray for a sell. And we did briefly closed on one candle below the 61.8, but we held just like we held over here, and then we bounced again. So this is interesting. This is interesting. If we take out this level here, this noble semaphore here, then we'll probably trade higher. Let's look at the daily again. Yeah, this is just going to follow the wave on the daily time frame. The wave is above. We're just going to follow the wave. That's Dollar Tree. When I say follow the wave, if it gets too stretched, you want to buy into the wave because it is in an uptrend. BURL, Burlington. I used to buy coats at Burlington. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're supported into the tunnel on the daily time frame, and that would be probably the wave on the weekly time frame. Yeah. So this is, I mean, if we hold the wave on the weekly time frame, we could, start to head up again. Let's look at one more, and then I'm going to share the watch list. Alta. Why don't we look at Alta? All of these earnings are coming out this week. Alta Beauty. It's an expensive stock, though. The weekly is in an uptrend currently. And the daily is in a downtrend. Okay. This is your breakout 4 trade sell. This is your breakout 4 trade sell. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not an uptrend. Is there anything else? Let's see. Okay. I think that's it for now. You can look at the charts on the earnings and just do your analysis. Oh, let's do one more. Into it. Okay. So this is also in a daily downtrend. Like whenever I don't get excited about this when we're in a daily downtrend. I just don't. Okay, but this is a really nice downtrend. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah. Even if we're in a downtrend, we're going to have corrections. So this correction was a correction into the wave because we were stretched. Over here, we just corrected into the filter. Here, we finally went above the filter and corrected into the wave. But I would be overly excited about buying this? No. Would I sell it? I like doing longs rather than shorts. That's just my nature. But we are at a juncture where it could be sold on the weekly and on the daily. Yeah, we are. So better to sell up here than to sell down here. I don't even have the whole wavy tunnel on here. Here we go. The bungees and the semaphores. We are up here, but the bungees and the awesome oscillator. Sometimes I like well, when we get the gray semaphore, I like it to fall above the tunnel, and I like the bungee, the yellow bungee, to go in the upper reversal zone. So we're not there yet. So this tells me that maybe we have room to go for the yellow bungee to go into the upper reversal zone. And in that case, I might be interested in taking some kind of a short position, but not right now. Okay, let me go back and share this watch list with you. All I have to do is click share. And there you have it. I've just shared the 824 watch list. We only have, if I click on it, because we didn't go through all the charts, we only have 14 symbols on here. But that's enough. That's okay. And these are only the daily breakout 4 trades. So that's all I wanted to cover today. Are there any questions before we end this? So you can always email me at jody@fxtradersedge.com if you have any questions. And that's all I have. So thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording now, and this will be posted at some point today.